Wyverns and Weirdos Curse of Strahd is a horror-themed campaign, and as such contains dark themes, including descriptions of gore, violence, and other features intrinsic to the gothic horror genre. Hello, and welcome to Wyverns and Weirdos does Curse of Strahd. I am your Dungeon Master, Darby, and joining me as always is Zoe, playing Sevia, Emily, playing Beatrice, Laura, playing Conrad, Mitch, playing Designation 42, Exley, and Johanna playing Fall. Let's get into it. Where we last left off, the party were started backtracking their way through Barovia in order to make a trip north to the to Mount Baratok to try to find the mage there. Upon coming across a strange arcane warping in the face of the cliff face of the mountain, the party were greeted, for want of a better word, by a bald, goateed, curmudgeonly old man who Exley would certainly recognize as Mordenkainen. So, and as he exited the portal that Sevia recognized as the threshold to a magnificent mansion, he complained of not being able to get quiet. So, and that is where we pick up. So who are you then?
Exley is going to step forward at this point, and is going to give a subtle head nod, as subtle as a Warforged can be. It is good to see you alive.
42. You managed to survive.
As did you.
Yes, I took a bit of a tumble, but it takes more than that for the old devil to deal with me. I fought much greater foes than that one, but just took me by surprise is all.
So, hello, my name is Sevia, this is Fall, Conrad, and Beatrice. She, points at everyone. She's still, bouncing really excitedly. And she's like, so you're the mage that Exley has been looking for.
Yes, I am Mordenkainen, Archmage from the world of Orth.
Oh, she can just... Oh, fangirling is the only word for it. But she's trying to be cool. Yes, I recognized your magic. It's really, the work you do is astonishing. How did you end up in Barovia?
I study balance. 'Tis a focus of mine. And I heard tales of this demi-plane, and thought that it needed setting right. It was not until I got here that I realized that setting things right would be the only way to actually leave.
Yes, we rather swiftly came to that realization as well, although we didn't know about Barovia until we got here. Truth be told, I only heard about it in legends, really, as a child, so... And she just looks desperately around at the rest of the group.
Alright,
So, what have you been doing while you were here?
Conrad, what were you?
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's all good. Oh.
We have been, a lot of things have happened to us in the past 3 or 4 days, but mostly we have been trying to work out ourselves a way to alleviate the curses on this land via defeating Strahd. Ha. Ha.
And how do you anticipate doing that?
She looks around at the others like, I know this is Exley's friend and I'm fangirling, but do we tell him about the prophecy?
Noticing the tension in the room.
In the forest.
Oh yeah, in the non-room that we're in. Exley is going to, after sort of looking at Sevia and seeing that the one who normally talks isn't currently talking, will say, we were hoping that you would assist us in that regard.
Hoping that I would assist. Well, I take it, Exley, that these folk are a little more capable than the average Barovian.
They have their uses.
Of course. Of course. Right, what do you do? Spit it out, what do you do?
I am a wizarding student. And she looks around at the others to see if they're going to introduce themselves at all.
His face this entire time is stern.
Well, excellent. So, capabilities is what we're talking about, yes? Well, so as you can see, she talks a lot. She's good at some magic. I presume you're good at more magic. I'm Conrad, of course, as Sevia so wonderfully introduced me. You, of course, know 42. Fall there is quite skilled in martial arts. And Beatrice, the Raven Folk, is accomplished hunter, bowswoman, and has some skill with knives. My capabilities are in combat in general and some subterfuge. I prefer to do most kinds of sword play, although I am quite handy in a scrap as well. So if you're looking at capabilities, that's about the sum of it.
The entire time Conrad has been speaking, Beatrice has been like mimicking him, making fun of the way he speaks and his gestures.
Fall is like tense in this, like it feels this moment to be very tense, but they kind of like back a bit away out of Conrad's like sleight of vision to like kind of like put their hand in their mouth, like stifle a laugh.
I also like to think that I command a great deal of respect in the group I travel with.
You clearly enjoy thinking that, yes.
I beg your pardon.
I'm simply saying you clearly enjoy the delusion you have set yourself in that you have a great amount of respect amongst your allies.
He turns around both in like a "what the fuck are you guys doing" and a like "I'm so unconscionably angry at this moment suddenly, and I'm going to turn away at this precise moment." So he kind of just whirls around to like glare at you guys behind him. I assume you're not now no longer doing the mimic.
No, Comrade is a well-trusted leader.
Trust and respect are two different things.
Yes, well, well, yes, so we found Exley. Yes.
Evidently.
Yes, only recently, 2 days, okay, as a player, like yesterday or the day before?
It was one day ago.
Before.
Yeah.
One
Yes.
day.
Oh, yeah, yesterday. So, yeah, because it's been one rest.
I've had one sleep.
Yes.
We met up with Exley yesterday, and then since then we have been working on a prophecy set forth by the Mointier, because that is at the moment our best lead on doing anything against Strahd. So that's what we have been doing.
And has this prophecy proved fruitful at all, or has it proved a wild goose chase?
We've found half the things we need, including Esmeralda over there. I forgot to introduce Esmeralda.
Hello.
Sorry. And then we also have this, and she pulls out the amulet.
Didn't Esmeralda stay back with the cart?
I thought we left the cart.
I believe we left the cart, but Esmeralda, the two skeletons, and the zombie came with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they are just sort of hiding in the shadows.
Now, which of you is the necromancer? Is that you, young lady?
No. It's Exley.
That would be me.
Interesting.
In our time apart, I have learned a new appreciation for a different strand of magic.
Interesting. So, Mage, what is your specialization in magic?
Excuse me while I remember what my thing was. Specifically, evocation.
Crude but effective. So, Kenku, that would be handy. Are any of you equipped with magical weapons or defenses? Because I take it Sevia here will be capable of holding her own and doing things that will actually impact some of the creatures here in Barovia, but I don't know about the rest of you.
I can do minor illusions.
Conrad and I have been equipped with such weapons.
Of course.
I have the ability to as well.
Wonderful. And Conrad?
As Beatrice said, I have a weapon that has been tempered, that I believe was given to us by Van Richten, if you are familiar with him, as a gift to do that much with. But I believe as long as we have the base tools, then at least staying alive, well, it has been afforded of us so far, so we have done well to this degree to, yes.
course. And you, Esmeralda.
I have some silvered weapons and the like for shape changes, and I also have a number of spells at my disposal as well.
Good. You seem a bit more utility-minded, looking at what you've got on your person.
A little, but I've got some offensive punch if I need it too.
All right. And what is it you want with me? Go
Well,
on, spit it out. You've sought me out.
Well,
So you clearly-
they wanted to locate you.
yes, this whole side mission to find you has been Exley's idea.
In my travels, I found something that belonged to you. I thought it would assist you if it was returned, and I pull out the spell book.
That's a natural 1 from Sevia, baby. With my insight makes it a 6. Oh.
Stevie is too busy fangirling.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense.
21.
21.
10.
Wow. 10.
24!
Oh,
24.
nice. 13 for Conrad.
13. Okay, so Beatrice and Exley, you pick up that, like, there's been a sort of, like, he's clearly been putting on a very stern face this entire time. But at the presentation of the spell book, you see the kind of flicker of an almost relieved smile start before he kind of reins it in very quickly, like a micro expression. And you can almost see a little more, like a little glimmer of hope return to his eyes.
And was there anything else by this book where you found it?
This was all that I found.
Damn. Where did you find it?
I was... After the battle, I was wandering around, trying to find out what to do next, and I managed to stumble across it at the base of the hill.
At the base of the hill. Hopefully that means the staff isn't too far from there.
Staff?
I brought my primary focus, my staff here.
Oh.
And it and my book were lost to me when I fell off the waterfall in the aftermath of my battle with Strahd.
Dear.
I've been able to craft and salvage some things, and of course I have certain material components with me, but if I were to regain possession of my staff, then I might actually be able to go up against Strahd again, and with the help of more capable folks such as yourself, then there might actually be a chance this time.
Sevia looks a little bit too delighted that he called her competent. Well, yeah, that would be incredibly helpful. I can't imagine not having my focus with me. I, are you saying that your staff is somewhere near Strahd's castle?
Well, I cannot say for certain, but sounds like if Exley found it where he says he found it, then it can't have gotten too far. Somewhere by the base of the hill, and it wouldn't be too far from the waters. But I cannot say for certain.
Why haven't you had a look through it already? If there's a chance it's just lying where it was, then wouldn't you at least check?
And risk the threats of Barovia alone? Would I have already gotten the attention of Strahd? Do you really think that vampire would allow me to retrieve the thing that would return me as a threat to him?
No, I don't think so. And if that's the line of logic that we're going with, then I'd imagine that Strahd would have it hidden somewhere quite safe from you.
Absolutely.
If he has managed to get his hands on it, then no doubt. However, the spellbook is a start. I've been trapped with a specific arsenal of spells. Without it, I've unfortunately not had the resources here or the materials to try to craft a new one and utilize my memory to create any sort of makeshift spellbook, but with this I at least have some of my capabilities expanded upon.
As a player, I want to ask, because Sevia would know this, but I do not. Can wizards make new focuses when old ones are lost?
Focuses, yes, and spellbooks too, yes.
Yeah, but like, you know, if we found a shiny enough rock.
Yeah, so the way he's speaking about this, actually roll me an insight check. Okay. And this is just for Sevia because this is based on information that only she really would be able to glean.
Insight makes that an 18.
Yeah, so based on what he's saying, it does sound like this is probably more than just your standard run-of-the-mill focus. This isn't just... It's not just a replacement for material components. Like, as he said, he has been able to cast spells through the use of having material components and other basic focuses, but something tells me that there's essentially greater magic to this focus that was lost.
Okay. All right, well. So it speaks a lot to your power that you've still been able to produce such advanced spells even without your primary focus.
Well, one should never underestimate the efficacy of contingency. Never step out of the home with only a focus or only material components. Always have both. Duplicate if you can.
Well, now I feel woefully underprepared, but when haven't I here in Barovia? uh,
You are young, you will learn.
yes, well, so I guess the question is, you have definitely made it sound like you would like us to, as much as we have come here for you, we are now of use to you as well, as much as I hate that word, in regard to defeating Strahd, in that you have called us more capable than normal Barovians. So I guess my question is, what do we do next? Because retrieving your staff, I feel like, is very important, but we still have things we need to get as part of this prophecy. And I'm not sure if we, as a group or as individuals, should get close to Strahd before we have all the components necessary. Like you said, don't go out underprepared.
Clearly very intelligent. You'd all do well to listen to this one. Now, it is true, it is advisable not to face Strahd underprepared. What do you need to seek out?
Well, oh my god, I never look up the prophecy before we get into things. Well, we still need to go to the Amber Temples. Because we are looking...
That is a truly dangerous place. Be careful when you go there. It is almost as dangerous as the Castle Ravenloft itself.
Sevia looks directly at Esmeralda. That was not mentioned
she
to
does
us.
not seem at all surprised by that statement.
Is there any information we can hear about this Amber Temple, if apparently you are so familiar with it?
I wouldn't say that I am overly familiar with it, but it has a particularly strong connection to the dark powers that watch over Barovia.
Okay.
It also has, from what I gather, a rather extensive arcane library. Unfortunately, without the use of a code word, it is inaccessible.
Sevia, for a moment, looks really excited, really disappointed.
How would we find such a code word?
It's possible that it is stored somewhere or known by one of the denizens of the temple. What else do you seek?
I'm not. Esmeralda might know more about where we were thinking of looking, but we are looking also for a wounded elf who has a treasure that we need.
Wounded elf. There are some elves who live with the Mointer just outside of Valaki.
Yes, and this one, and she pulls out her own spellbook and flicks all the way through to the back where she's written down the prophecy. And she just reads over it real quick, and she's like, and this elf is meant to have knowledge of the ancient. So maybe this elf is meant to have the code word to the arcane library.
It is possible.
She looks really excited that she has potentially made this connection, even if it's real or not.
That, or he could have information regarding Strahd himself.
Yes, we were given the prophecy in a certain order, but we have not actually been able to get things in that particular order. Because technically we should have gotten the elf first, but we have not. Instead, we found Esmeralda first. So
Yes, we had something else to see to before we could really sort of been dictated since then. The direction we've taken.
yes.
Well, all paths lead to Sickle.
Sickle? What accent was that? Sickle?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Okay, let me just write down sickle for it. Please be good. Arcana?
Yes.
Oh, that's my good one. That's a 16.
16. So, in the Great Wheel of the Plains, of the Outer Plains, there is a sort of a central plane of neutrality, known as the Outlands, through which all other planes are basically accessible through the use of portals and various doorways. And at the center of this of the Outlands is the city of doors, known as Sigil. You don't know too many details about the city itself, but you have heard in some of your planar cosmology classes about the basic structure of the planes and the fact that there is Sigil, which houses, or which lies at the center of a bunch of gate towns.
Yeah. I, as a player, have just remembered what sickle is because I know it from something else. Why were we talking about sickle?
Because all paths lead to Sigil.
Yes, right. Yes. No. So, are you saying that? Are you saying that potentially for us to get out of here, we can't go straight back to our home plane? We have to go through Sickle first?
That was not something that I had considered. I was merely using an expression. But that is certainly possible.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, you get the feeling that it was kind of like almost like all roads lead to Rome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's certainly very well. Again, I just well, now you know a bit more about what we need to do. So once again, I ask not just you, but the group at large, where do we go now?
We've gone all this way. I think we have to ask what assistance this Mordekainen is going to provide us.
I currently have no intention of straying too far from my mansion.
And you see him kind of looking out towards the horizon.
In fact, come on in. I've been out here too long already.
And he disappears into the crack.
Oh.
Into the warping.
Where did he go?
In through the... See, it's... Oh, I've read about this. It's really wonderful. And then she also walks through.
Well... here goes, and Beatrice will walk past everyone and go in.
Exley is going to turn around and have a look at the horizon to see is there anything there.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. Ooh. I don't think I need a modifier for that, but I'll add it. Oh my god, my modifier is amazing. 7.
Oh my god.
I'm guessing you rolled a natural 1, and
I rolled
that
a
is
2.
A 2. So still a decent modifier, but yeah, no, you don't see anything on the horizon.
Okay. Fair.
Just the tops of trees.
Fair. I will gesture for 5, 6, and 8 to accompany me inside, and I will also step in.
Full will like warily back away from them as they go in, and then I'll be like, "Well, I love how I just randomly go into strangers' houses now in this world. Cool. All right," and I'll pop in.
Magic. Right. Yes. And like Conrad has been goes to sheath the dagger that he's had by his side, and then he just kind of like puts it in his pocket instead, so it's an easier reach. You're like, okay, kind of squares up his shoulders and then goes into, follows as well.
Okay.
And Esmeralda.
And
she'll
Esmeralda follows through.
Got the whole squad.
So, when you all step inside, you do see that this is a fantastically resplendent, almost castle-like structure inside, but it's a lot of stained glass patterns representing. You see there's 2 concentric, basically, circles of concentric's not quite the right word. There's 2 levels of these beautiful stained glass windows, and Sevia, you instantly recognize one of the circles as being representative of the 8 schools of magic. Each of them with the symbol of the school featured very prominently around some sort of artwork depicting some sort of effect related to the school. Roll me an Arcana check. And Beatrice can probably roll this one as well.
Arcana makes that a 25.
What was it? Arcana?
Arcana.
I rolled a nat 20, and that's a +5.
Okay. So yeah, both of you recognize the upper circle as being representative of the various planes of existence, and floating up at the center of it is this massive golden orrery of spinning like planets and discs that echo the way that the planes and the spheres shift around each other.
Is it the symbol that was represented on his spellbook?
It looks very similar in structure to the orrery depicted on the spellbook. There. You all see as well that there are numerous semi-transparent, featureless arcane servants moving around, and tending mostly to food, getting food ready and keeping things tidy and the like.
Well,
My word.
this is something else.
Oh, I love magic. magic.
Certainly. Nice decor. Not exactly like back home, but certainly better than the rest of the fair in Barovia.
Beatrice nudges Fall and then rolls her eyes when Fall looks at her.
Fall does like a little like chuckle and say,
No,
nod.
it's quite beautiful. This is a wonderful mansion. It's beautiful.
It is. Goodness, magic.
Yes. Yes, you don't seem to have a lot of experience with it, Conrad, but this is this is the stories I heard of, the magic I wanted to make. This is what I grew up with in my mind.
I can understand that. This is the sort of magic that I think would be most useful.
Tell me, Sevia,
Yes.
what are the extents of your capabilities as they currently stand?
I'm advanced for my age. Is he basically asking what spell level I'm at? Yeah. Okay. In regards to what would maybe be on a curriculum, I am third level, as they call it. Very nearly fourth, but yes, currently I have quite a few at third level.
So this is still a little ways beyond your capability.
Yes, quite a lot, but
However, let me confirm. Let me confirm when I have a bit of a moment. What I have in my travel book. It's been a while since I've been able to peruse it, as you can understand, and I might be able to find some stuff that might come in handy for your time here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
That is, of course, assuming that you have the necessary inks and parchments. As you can imagine, it's a bit difficult to acquire here.
Yes, yeah, I picked up some recently, actually. Not a lot, but a few levels worth.
I do have some here myself, but I would prefer to keep that on my person.
Oh, of course.
But
I'd be happy to use what I have.
also, if you wouldn't mind, if there was anything in your own spell book that I don't happen to have access to here, if I could transcribe.
Of course. How long has it
Some
been
of your
since you were
notes.
outside of Barovia?
Probably 2 or 3 months at this point.
Oh, okay. So you haven't missed any of the conferences. That's fine. But yes, no. Any spells. That's fine. If you have the ink for it, then I would happily exchange magic with you. And she just look. I'm assuming Conrad is kind of the closest to her. She's just gonna look at him, just like so excited.
Conrad looks at her a bit mystified, but he still looks a little bit cheery now. He's coming to this. So it's like, he just kind of like nods and then tries to do a smile at her, like, good.
He's doing his best.
Then goes back to studying like looking around at all the architecture, I suppose.
Full make an aside to Beatrice, like, I think if we stay here much longer, I think we might lose Sevia to this place. She seems to love it.
I think you're right. And then Beatrice suddenly sort of starts madly patting her pockets and pulls out a little vial of a mystery potion. And goes,
yes.
"Oh, I wonder. We found this when we found the amulet. Do you know what it might be?"
Let me. It looks like some variety of potion to me. Pass it here, and I will have a closer look.
Paul's just like, yeah, we got that.
Beatrice hands it off.
Right.
Him?
So I suspected this is potion of healing, but certainly a potent one at that. So this is specifically a potion of superior healing.
Oh, nice.
Which is quite a lot of D4s.
Good.
Okay.
Where did you get that from, Beatrice?
It was in with the amulet.
Oh, interesting. Kept that quiet until now.
It was need to know information. No one needed to know.
Oh, Beatrice, did you grab the vial of ink that was in there as well?
No.
Oh,
Grab that.
rats! Oh well, thankfully I found some of these marks, but
So let me. I can find.
Question,
Yeah.
what are those things wandering around? The half-seen things?
They are simply a simplification of the unseen servant spell, restricted to the mansion.
I see. They do your bidding?
Yes, and
Like
they
Exley's
will-
friends? Fortitude's friends?
Somewhat.
Mine are unfortunately very visible.
Well, I think that adds to their appeal, perhaps somewhat, in terms of intimidation. So, although these half-seen things are certainly interesting.
yes, there are a few of them around the university back in Durham. They are less moral quandaries than real servants or golems. So, no, they're just piles of magic, basically.
I suppose you don't have to pay them either, so no moral quandaries of having servants that you have to pay or
Well,
to... Yes.
No, it's more the I mean, technically, you do pay them in that you're the one giving them magic to live, but
Giving them life, yes.
yes, but
Interesting.
we are a university. There's many of us. There's, there are several real people who work at the university, but they're all wizards. They all like to show off. So
Indeed.
yes.
Huh.
I never said wizards were humble. Present company excluded.
I'm completely aware that there is a certain arrogance that comes with some mages, especially once they get some modicum of power.
Yes, whether that be magical power or just degrees on the wall.
Indeed.
Yes.
Exley, just as an aside, looks around at the intricacies and essentially expensiveness of this mansion and thinks to himself on the definition of humble.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
I'm detecting sass.
And I guess, make it aside, probably. Fall goes to make it aside to Conrad, looks at Conrad's general being, thinks better of it, says it to Beatrice like, yes, there's a certain arrogance in making a huge mansion and just living it in yourself and not giving it to anyone else.
This mansion doesn't truly exist.
Sorry, I
Young
didn't say
tiefling.
anything. Sorry, I don't know what I was saying there. I say silly things sometimes.
To give this mansion to someone else would be impossible. I can impart on others who have the magical capabilities to do so the knowledge to do it themselves, but it is a...
Sure, no, I'm sure that's how it works. It's all fine.
It is an enchantment that takes up quite an extensive amount of one's magical
Paul's just
power
like,
for the
I
day.
will gently bully this man.
And it is in no way permanent.
No, sorry, it's fine, sorry.
She's just like this sometimes.
You would be wise not to criticize those who host you without any knowledge.
Yes, apologies,
Clearly wisdom is not your strong suit.
yes,
Goodness, it certainly is excellent being around two accomplished, intelligent wizards. I am really learning so much. I mean, I personally believe Fall has a lot of very good attributes. They have proven themselves quite capable in a lot of real life situations where I have proven unable.
thank you.
Yes.
I feel like this one shows a lot of capabilities, has a lot of capabilities that they do not let on, shall we say.
Okay. Let's stop with the let's change the topic of conversation now. Yes, it is a lovely house, isn't it? I think you did a very good job with this spell.
This is quite simple compared to the extent of this spell's potential.
Simple.
Yes, simply monuments to the planes and to the schools of magic, and a few basic doors to get through to resting quarters, and a library of sorts. So don't get too excited, Sevia. The library is not as functional as it would be if I had access to my library back home.
God.
Yeah, no, sorry. I just I'm a bit of a bookworm. I just hear the word library and I just get all excited.
Of course.
Food.
Yes, the servants are preparing it right now.
Oh.
There's a certain surface level enchantment that is determining what food you would best desire. And they are preparing that right now.
Oh.
We'll be ready in a couple of hours. In the meantime, you will be perfectly safe within the confines of this mansion.
Good. No Strahd or anything.
Only those that I permit to enter may enter it. And before I get any cheek from you, tiefling, It is merely because I casted the spell. It is not a feature of the enchantment itself. It is a feature of having been the one to cast it.
Right, I'm sorry, I'm sure that's the case.
Beatrice chuckles and then walks over to grab the potion vial again and tucks it safely away on her person.
Okay, so for reference, and I'm sure you'll be able to find that on D&D Beyond easily enough, but that is an 8d8 plus 4 healing potion.
Very helpful.
Yeah. So everything in here has been crafted by you purposefully, sir.
Of course, meticulously.
Are you familiar with running bath water?
Yes, there are many
pipes,
worlds.
you know?
Yes, there are many planes of existence where plumbing exists.
Oh, good. Good. Do you have... I would assume you would have bathing capabilities then.
Yes. Just through that door there.
Points to the door between the what would it be? The conjuration and abjuration stained glass windows.
Ha! Marvelous. Excellent. Truly marvelous. Good. Courage just like looks contemplative.
Feel free to use the facilities. I do have some basic guest bedrooms. They are all, if you go through between enchantment and abjuration, there is a corridor that will lead you through to several guest facilities.
Excellent.
Wonderful. Well, depending on if we're doing this spell exchange later on, I might take second bath after Conrad, and maybe the rest of us can settle down for a minute.
Yes,
Yes.
Quick question, young Xavier.
Yes?
You said you do have some ink on you.
Yes.
How far do you think you could stretch that?
Oh, it has 3 levels worth of written spells, but since I work in evocation, I could maybe stretch it a little more.
Okay. I will keep that in mind.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes, well, Conrad can go towards the bath under the conjuring window, and we will go this way.
Yes. Okay. Right. Good.
He grabs his bags and lugs them off to go and have a bath.
Yeah.
Again.
As we're all sort of starting to break off, Eggley is going to go up to Mordenkainen. Yeah.
Okay.
Mordenkainen, it is truly great to see you again. And then awkwardly he's going to put out his hand and just sort of like pat Mordenkainen's shoulder. And then just sort of awkwardly shuffle off in a metallic fashion.
That's incredible.
In a metallic fashion.
Sevia is going to go up to Exley. And she's going to be like, do you think that a spell picking our favorite food works for you as well? I know you can't taste, but do you have things you prefer to eat or that your wild shapes prefer to eat?
I do not possess any means of tasting currently, but we could always try a wild-shaped form to see what particular food styles I would appreciate.
Yes, that might be. Oh, I do wonder if it'll like if you were a horse, maybe you would prefer oats or grass, and then maybe if you were just a little owl, maybe you'd prefer something else. What animals do you know?
I know only those that I have seen.
And what ones have you seen?
I have seen animals that are typical in the Barovia area. I have seen horses. I have seen wolves. I have seen dogs. I have seen many different types of fish. I could list the fish if you would like.
No, that's okay. Have you ever seen something like a turtle or a duck?
I can transform into a turtle. I, unfortunately, do not possess the abilities to turn into a winged creature.
Oh, really?
That is unfortunately beyond my capabilities currently.
Oh, but you could learn.
I can, and I intend to.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Oh, you could be Beatrice's little friend. Oh, that would be quite sweet.
Are we not already classified as friendly?
Well, yes. I just mean you'd look the same, and that would be quite cute. People back home would get portraits painted of the two of you just to have around as a, as a sweet thing.
Okay.
Please give me a second to pull my shit together. Yes, well, maybe as your magic gets stronger, we can work out different animals you could become, including winged ones. She's not laughing. I am. Yes, and then as we walk to the room, she's going to keep rattling off animals to see if you know what they are. Like cat, elephant, snail.
What is an elephant?
Oh, and then she's going to go into very detailed explanation of what an elephant is.
Exley is going to take in all of this information and be very confused.
Yep.
Sevia,
Yes?
roll me a nature check. And Exley,
I
roll me
explained the elephant.
and Exley, roll me an intelligence check.
Oh boy.
I don't think it's technically within your capabilities yet. I think it's probably too high a CR.
Okay, so it just turns into this terrifying amalgam
Actually,
of something that could be an elephant.
It might always be too high a CR.
I believe it is, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a 17 for Celia.
CR
Ooh.
4.
Yeah.
So it would always be beyond your capabilities. But what was the nature check?
17.
17. So Exley, roll me an intelligence check.
I rolled a natural 1, Darby.
Okay. So it doesn't matter. I was gonna say if you succeeded, I would have said, well, you could probably turn into a baby elephant.
I'm imagining
but-
the way that Sevia is describing it. Exley is essentially imagining a weird combination of a horse and a mastiff with an incredibly long nose and, for some reason, webbed feet.
Oh, very Victorian.
Yeah. He just didn't hear the bit where she mentioned the ears.
Yeah.
Yep. And while she's doing this, she is also picking a little spot in the room to have a rest of some description. We've short rested recently, so it's not like we gain anything from that, but I could get a spell slot back, but
you can only do that once per long rest.
okay, well, chill.
Which you've already used that on your previous short rest.
Yeah,
So
that's fine.
but over the course of all of this, people can take another short rest if they want to. I don't think anything's happened since the last short rest that you would
No.
The
benefit?
short rest was like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
There is one thing that Eggley wants to do, like if everyone else is sort of going off on their own.
Yeah.
Eggley, on hearing Conrad mention that my zombie and skeleton friends are potentially, have more of an intimidatory factor than semi-visible servants with no weapons. He is going to take 8 aside and just sort of essentially try and coach him in how to put on a war face.
I would also like to point out they'd still be wearing everything that Beatrice put them in the car.
Yes, they are in fancy clothes.
Image. They're
Yeah.
clothing.
Classic.
One hat. It's got a wig on.
Essentially, Eggley, the person who can't do expressions, is trying to coach a zombie who also can't do expressions how to put on an expression,
Perfect. I love it.
is what I want Eggley to be doing for the next hour.
Beatrice is going to have found a little corner to sit in, and we'll be watching whatever this is, and just be completely confused while she cleans and sharpens her daggers.
All right. So, I do have a brief list of choices that Mordenkainen will eventually come up to you with, Sevia, but we will deal with that probably between episodes.
Oh, good.
But in the meantime, is there anything else that people want to do?
Not until food comes out.
Yeah.
Beatrice is just waiting for her turn in the bath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Conrad, the bathroom is just as beautifully designed as the rest of the mansion, and it's not overly large, not excessive.
Yeah, not like back home in Serrata. But
yeah.
yes.
But it is
Big baths there.
very much a facility that you can get into and get comfortable and clean yourself properly.
Yeah, and also there's hot water, I assume.
Yes.
Which has been very rare. Hot running water. So he is very pleased. And he'll probably have a much longer bath than he normally tends to. And he kind of will come out very pink because it's has such a long hot bath, because his back is still super sore from the day before.
The wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
2 hours, 3 hours or whatever.
So he kind of comes out looking very boneless, and just kind of looks more cheerful. And then he kind of I assume there's a couch nearby or something. He kind of looks at one of the daggers or something he probably normally would take to start cleaning or whatever. He just instead just flops it on the couch, then flops himself down on the couch and stretches out and then he's oh, bath is free, next person. Actual hot running water.
Sevia goes in to have a bath and finally gets to clean herself of all the blood on her neck properly.
Yeah.
It's been nearly 36 hours.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Fall's just been looking quite embarrassed, and then quite stressed, and then annoyed, and just alternating between that, and then probably just goes and awkwardly is I will go and do some stretches in a corner and wait.
All right. So yeah, eventually everyone deals with their various things, and food is brought out. What does everyone's what was divined from everyone's mind as their favorite meal?
I've been frantically Googling, and I've decided that all that comes for fall is a huge bowl full of gelato. It's just ice cream.
Okay,
And
but
he's like,
you notice that like it is a large like almost one of those kind of like a pasta bowl kind of thing with several different scoops of gelato of different flavors, almost as if it's like a proper meal.
so cool. It's just like blown away. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I only ever got like one bite of that once and it was amazing.
Sevia's would be a bowl of rice with eggs and bacon in it, but the eggs and bacon are in the shape of a smiley face.
That's cute.
Wow.
And she just looks like kind of touched by that.
Beatrice's would just be some kind of hearty sort of roast meal with lots of potatoes on the side.
Okay.
Yeah. And I suppose like I don't think it'll be a regional thing, but Conrad has seen something similar to gelato before in a shaved ice or something. So he looks like what? Huh. And then he looks very delighted because his will be huge bowl of like fantasy pasta with like lots, like really like obviously it's obviously been like I don't know the term, like hand kneaded sort of like pasta and like lots of like fish and like different meats and like lots and lots of like tomatoes and like vegetables and like so like it's big bowl. And he just looks absolutely delighted. Like it's probably the happiest you have ever seen him like at all. And he just like again goes quite like looks very baby, very wide-eyed, instead of like his usual edgelord scaly type stuff. And yeah, he just looks absolutely delighted. He's like, my word, magic, wow, incredible.
Exley, do you think that anything would come out for you?
Exley has never had food before. So, well, he has had a single nut.
Yes.
So, probably just a bowl of bland nuts. And not
Okay.
like an assortment of nuts, it would just be the one nut that he was given.
Okay. Esmeralda's is like kind of campfire styled meat with like potatoes and nuts and various foraged berries. Mordenkainen's is like this elaborately roasted fish that you don't really recognize as being any particular one that would be found here. I mean, it's a bit hard to tell when it's been cooked, but there. It doesn't look like any of the kind of like cooked fish styles that you would immediately think of.
Nothing from the docks. Interesting.
Nice.
With of course the appropriate sides.
Excellent.
Wine, obviously. White wine. Red wine, maybe. I don't know. Are the drinks as well?
Oh, yeah.
It's fish, then it has to
yeah.
be white wine.
Oh, it depends
Yeah.
on the fish, though.
True.
This is fantasy. Weird fantasy other
Fantasy
plane
fish.
Yeah. Excellent.
Fantasy wine. Could be green wine. We don't know.
Yeah, true. That's it. Sparkles in it.
Yeah, so you all have like appropriate beverages to go with it.
Goodness. Incredible. And not poisoned. Most likely.
Not at all.
Connor will do a precursory poisoning check. I don't know what that would be. He
He's
just
like,
looks
Paul,
suspicious.
try some.
Paul, would you like some? Try some.
Yeah,
Sure.
roll me an intelligence check if you want to.
Oh, okay.
to check for poison.
So 21.
21. There is no discernible sign of poison.
I imagine that it would be
Anywhere
in
to be
some
seen.
sense just be like, is my tongue immediately burning? Do I suddenly feel any other symptoms? He just like,
Yeah.
no, it's good. Good.
And
Incredible.
and the moment you start eating it, it is like at the perfect temperature for optimal consumption.
Oh,
I'm so upset this guy's mean to Fall, because this is the best day we've had in a while.
Well,
To be fair, I was kind of mean to him too.
Yeah.
But also...
proportional
And he wasn't
response.
all that mean to it. To him.
But
It
Paul
was
is
just
upset.
it was just like
I'm a sensitive soul.
Yeah. Fall's a sensitive
it
boy.
basically was just think before you speak.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Thor, what is that you have there? Is that like flavoured ice?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
I remember I had a bite of it once. One of the troop members managed to get up enough money to buy some, and I got one taste of it, and now I've got this whole bowl.
Goodness.
It's so good.
Yes, an entire bowl. Novel.
And different flavors too.
Yes, quite a lot of different flavours. Excellent. It's quite nice. Reminds me of my childhood. Wonderful. Food looks so good. I mean, well, most of the food looks good. Goodness.
Yes.
There's-
What does everyone else have?
Yes. Interesting
That's nice.
bowl of nuts there, 42.
This is all I have consumed.
Is it for the texture? Do you
I
prefer it?
No, this is all I have consumed since I was created. This is the only food source that I know.
Do you want to try my gelato?
If it would be acceptable, I would love to change my form to see if I may taste.
It would make sense, I suppose.
Sure.
Okay.
you can try a bit of mine too.
Fine.
Yes, and some of mine. Depending on what your form is, I suppose, you might not like some of these things.
We shall see. And Exley is going to sort of concentrate a little bit, place his hand on his side where his staff is sort of encrusted into his body, and use that as a focus as he thinks of a time when, a little while ago, just before the rebellion happened, he was just sort of wandering through town, and a stray, scruffy-looking brown dog came up to him and peed on his leg. And he's going to channel that energy and remember the stain that is very rusty on his foot, and will attempt to turn into just a brown, scruffy-looking mutt.
Sweet boy.
My word. Does it work? Is he a dog now?
Yeah, he's a dog now.
Beatrice will pull off a chunk of meat and sort of push it towards the dog.
And for the podcast viewers, which is just a dog impression.
I don't know how to dog.
An excited dog face.
I will. I'm happy to improv a lot of things, but
Yeah.
I haven't done dog before.
But actually, you take
take a
this
bite.
meat in your mouth, and it tastes like of meat. Like you can feel the sensation of taste.
My tail goes absolutely nuts.
Oh, Conrad looks like quite delighted that you're a dog, but also a little bit sad. But he looks very interested regardless.
Beatrice, having the best time.
I think he likes it.
Oh, look at him.
Certainly interesting.
I'll put the gelato onto the bowl with the nuts.
Eggley is going to very excitedly lick up some of that, and if he likes the taste, he's going to lick so much that he goes like all cross-eyed and gets a brain freeze, and he's like, and then stops for a bit, and the tail keeps going, and he goes for more.
Oh, excellent.
Sevia is going to give him a bit of like rice, and when tries to get like a good bit of like yolk and bacon on it as well, and puts it on. I'm assuming there are many forks, so she's going to put it on a different fork for Exley. Here you go, buddy.
He's going to wander up very excitedly, and yeah, he's just going to take the whole fork.
In his little mouth.
Incredible. And I guess Conrad will get like a bowl. If there's an empty bowl, just someone else's bowl, he'll just grab theirs and just like pick out with his fingers, I guess, a lot of like fish and meat and crab, and pop it into a bowl, and then he'll kind of like slide out of his chair and then kind of like crouch down and hold out the bowl for him, I guess.
Yeah, he'll wander over. He'll go for it.
Head height. Excellent.
After all these meals, like all these samples.
I'm sorry for one quick moment. Can I pat him?
You can
Certainly
do
try.
that if you wish to.
So while he's watching, and again he looks quite fond, I guess, he will then pat Exley on like give him a little scruff on the head.
Okay.
I don't know. Cautiously.
Yeah, he'll sort of stop and tense up a little bit because this is weird, but then he'll kind of lean into it a bit, and then he'll start to like it, and he'll keep eating, and then he's like pushing into your hand, and then the foot starts going as well.
That's incredible. Again, Conrad looks very delighted.
As soon as you're finished with the pasta, one of the servants appears with a cartoonishly sized, perfectly cut raw steak.
Oh my god.
My tail could decapitate someone.
Just take someone's kneecaps out.
Right.
But that's the other thing. I'm like below kneecap, like knee height as well. Like I'm not a big dog. I'm a small brown boy.
Tail can still probably take out a shin.
Oh yeah. Like it'll go. It's going at velocity.
So, after the shenanigans of dinner, Mordkainen speaks to you all.
You are welcome to rest here for the night. Just be warned, you will be shunted out in the morning, a little after sunrise, when the spell expires.
Okay.
If you are awake and ready earlier, then you may exit prior to that, but if you sleep in or decide not to depart before the spell expires, then you will be shunted out.
Will that be painful?
Not at all.
Okay.
I'd say you have to get up early then.
Yes.
I generally cast a spell at around 9 o'clock of a morning. So as long as you're up and out by then you won't have the rude shock fall upon you.
Excellent. Well, we are all used to rising early, after all.
Yes, and I believe, I don't know if we discussed it, but if we are going to make it to the Amber Temple in the next few days, I do believe we have to set off quite early in order to do so.
Yes. That
As I
would be
said before,
prudent.
As I said before, beds are accessible between the abjuration and enchantment pieces.
Wonderful.
I bid you a good night. And you see him go off through the door between the enchantment and divination.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting chap.
Yes. Not a lot of social skills.
Very condescending.
Yes. Oh, believe me, most wizards of that power level are like that. In fact, a lot of wizards not of his power level. Like most people I go to uni with.
Anyway, I just think anyone in any kind of power, really.
So we are still going to Amber Temple straight away?
I think it might be worth a trip to Valaki to see those elves first.
I think that too.
I think we'll probably need to go past on our way anyway.
Good. How far is Valaki from here?
Shouldn't be too far. It's probably. Well, you went there from
Yeah, Rainer and Ismark are there,
before.
right?
That's right. Yes.
It's probably about as far from it's probably about as far from Van Richten's tower as this place is. So basically double the length of the trip to the tower.
Well, I suppose we got a meal out of this and running water and a place to stay for the night, presumably. So that's useful here, if not much else. And Exley, is Exley still a dog, or is he
Yes.
a robot? He's still a dog.
100% still a dog.
I'm still giving him a pet. I still pet him.
It sounds like Sevia's gotten some new knowledge.
Yeah. Yes. Well, you know, always good to have more. Haha.
Magic, yes.
I don't like the idea of being shunted out of here, so I'm gonna get an early rest.
Yes, I think we all should retire early.
It's been an interesting day.
Yes. So I guess let's retire?
Yes.
Yes.
Where did he say the bedrooms were again?
Just over there, under the what windows were they under?
So it was between abjuration and enchantment.
Just between abjuration and enchantment.
Okay. Good impression.
Yes. No. Do you know what? All these things. They're the different schools of magic, aren't they? There's conjuring, and then there's evocation, and then abjuration. And she's just gonna, as we walk towards the room, she's just gonna rattle off all of them.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming no one listens, but she is gonna do like PowerPoint notes about what each of them is.
Beatrice will sort of interject and just be like, the ones above, they're representative of different planes.
Yes.
Oh, like we're here now on a different plane.
Yes.
Yes. So that would be area.
So the inner planes, like the Shadowfell and the Feywild and the Elemental Chaos, aren't represented, but the outer planes, like the Nine Hells, Blessed Fields of Elysium, all of that, are represented.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
And so you each go through and down a corridor to find separate rooms. Each of them quite luxuriously equipped.
take a rest. Take your rest. And that is where we're going to finish for this week.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Thank you for listening, guys.
Thank you for
Thank you
listening.
all very much.
See you next
This has
week.
been a relatively relaxing episode.
That's like the most fun we've had in this
I know. It's to be glued.
So
we're
let's die
leaving,
next episode.
we're leaving to the
Yeah.
image of Exley
Yeah.
going to sleep as a little dog curled up on a giant bed.
He still has the bone from the raw steak as
And
well.
That's so cute. It's just his
I
own
And
feel
then
bed.
like Exley would have gone in with like Conrad and is like curled up on the end of Conrad's bed or something.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Conrad looks very delighted about this. That's
And
so
then,
cute.
like, I think it'd be like 2 hours
Yep.
or an hour and a half in. Just
Amazing. Anyway, thank you for listening, everyone.
yeah.
Thank you for listening.
See you next week.